Okay, they're here with me this time. They won't speak via radio, but they will face to face. They want proof. Photos. To prove what goes on in the community. Okay, what kind of photos? Okay, take note. A photo representing community. Okay, got that. Photo representing faith. A photo representing history. A photo representing progress. And a photo representing safety. Then they want photos that would intrigue them in some way. Do you remember their jobs? I believe so. But remind me just in case. Okay, a sergeant, a second in command, a bartender, a pilot, a lighthouse keeper, and 2 scientists. Okay, names? We might have people here who know them. Yes, of course. Seth Ford, Jenna Chandler, Sebastian Squires, Dewitt Ryan, Amelia Brooks, Josh Burke, and Lindsay Porter. Okay, thank you. I'll get the photos. So where exactly should we meet? I'm being told the entrance is in the side of a mountain. The one to the left of the hospital, ground level. There's 2 doors that'll be open and a trapdoor that will be too. You'll have to go down a ladder and you'll see us at the end of the hallway. Approach slowly and introduce yourself. On your own. If you succeed to convince them, you'll then give them a tour of the community. And me too. Okay. I got it. I'll be there. And alone. What time? In exactly an hour. They say if you're not on time, they'll lock all doors and you won't get another chance. Okay. I'll see you in an hour, Allison. I promise you'll get to see your family. She's gone. Okay. Guess I gotta go and see Reese and see if I can borrow his camera for a bit. Okay, right, so hospital. And to the left, I believe. Right, there's Jeremy again. He's always making sure that the walkers don't get out of the hospital before we can clear. I've got the photos, everything they asked for, and to the left of the hospital, so this way, in the side of the mountain, ground level. Okay, well that's the river there. And I don't see any entrances, so I suppose I'll keep going. It's quite weird because Luna's house is right... Whoa. None of us noticed that before, I don't know how, but this must be one of the vents. Okay, we must be heading in the right direction. Alright, so Luna's house is there, so it can't be there, and I'm still to the left of the hospital. Let me check over here. No, they said, Allison said ground level, so it should be around here somewhere, right? Not over there. Wait, is this? This must be it. Okay, whoa, that is a long way down. Okay, this is definitely it. Okay. Oh, deep breath. Alright, so I'm doing this for Allison, so I need to leave everything. Need to leave Dad's sword and gun. Okay, that's everything. I haven't got any other weapons on me, so... Okay, here goes nothing, I guess. All the way down, and down the ladder, okay. Right, I haven't had to climb down the ladder for quite some time, but okay. Here goes nothing. Right, hopefully they're not going to shoot me when they see me, but I suppose only time will tell. Okay. Okay, there they are. Okay. Gotta approach slowly. Slowly but surely. And then they shouldn't shoot. Okay. That must be Seth Ford, and there's Allison. Okay. Thank God she's okay. And wow, there really are a lot of people, and there's the dog. And a robot? Okay, this place is really nice, to be fair. I can't believe it's the radio Allison has been using. Surprised this place still looks like this. Probably about the only place that looks as nice as this, honestly, but... Allison, hey! Sorry, the scar. She really did cut her arm and her head open, like. um, Hi? You're the kid? Um, I am. Not quite what I was expecting, but name yourself. Ryan Forrester? Part of the community council? Okay. I see you're alone, but what's to say there aren't people up there waiting for us? There aren't. You'll just have to take my word for that. Allison says you can be trusted. So what need is there for a kid on the council? I suppose you could say I'm the kind of people person, I guess. Don't know why, but, I guess that's what I am. I'm the people person. I check in on everyone, make sure they're getting on okay, settling in okay, that kind of thing. So you make the people feel safe. At home. Give the new people tours of the place. Indeed, yes, exactly that. Just like I'll be giving you guys a tour too, right? Confident. I like it, but tell me about what goes on above us. I mean, what exactly do you want to know? Let's start with who's on the council and what each of them do. Yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely, I can do that. To start, Gracie Hudson brings the guards together, men and women that guard the walls. Demar Hunter, apologies. His actual name is DeMarcus, but call him Demar. He's our security expert. Robert Gavin is our farmer. He grows the majority of the fresh produce we eat every day. Matthew Forrester, David Pendle, and Garrett Turner are our head builders, in charge of construction, obviously. Francine Marvin is our head doctor and surgeon. Zena Blair, who goes by Z, is our head scientist. Maximus Foley and Quinn Foley, husband and wife, are in charge of making sure our new recruits, our new people basically, don't cause any trouble while they're signing up to join us. Jeremy Scott is our head runner. He leads the groups that go outside of the walls to scavenge. Once again, Maximus Foley is also our head chief police officer. We have a police force. It's kind of a work in progress. Don't really have much of a need for it, but we figured it was necessary, just in case. Kova Volkov, Stephen Lowe, and Alan Ferguson are in charge of planning. So basically, not necessarily just blueprints, but basically just planning everything. So if we need a new building built, they'll have it planned, and then they'll go to the builders and ask them to do it. And then obviously if there's something that needs planned, like some new I don't know, like a generator or something, if we need some kind of electricity sort of thing built, that's not my sort of thing, but that's basically what they're in charge of. And Jim Arnold is in charge of the power and electricity and sort of plumbing as well, because we have working toilets and showers, which you'll be happy to hear, and sinks too, better say that as well. And so basically just sort of like engineering, really. I think that's the word I should have used there. Instead of power, electricity, and plumbing, I should have said engineering. But yeah, that's what he does. And Bobby Welch provides the timber for the construction. So he goes and cuts down all the trees and, everything, and then provides it for the construction. And Brendan, Free Dog Ross, is in charge of our radio tower, that's whose radio I was using to contact you people, and Alison, obviously. Maydeen Testarossa is head of teaching. She's basically the principal of our school. She keeps things running because she showed a rather large interest in the school being built and the school being in working order, so we figured who better than to put someone who was ready and able for that kind of thing in charge, So Fred Jones, Dane Carver, and Jewick Snyder, and also Heather Mason, I forgot about her, are our blacksmiths. They basically make all our weapons and armor and tools and basically anything metal or anything stone or anything, that kind of thing that needs to be made, it tends to go down to them. Or if we can find the piece on a supply run, then we will, but most times it just falls to them. And now I, as I said, am the people person, but I am also what you would call a recruiter, alongside Edward Arnold, and when I'm unable to recruit, a woman named Skelly takes my place. I mean, she often goes, even when I am able to, so she sort of goes out. Basically, a lot of the time I have other things to do, so oftentimes the woman called Skelly goes out and basically takes my place, but sometimes she just asks to do it anyway because she's a really good judge of character, which, is exactly what we need. Okay, now moving on. I know this is dragging on, but there's a lot of people. Grant Shelby is in charge of the mine. He and his workers gather the materials, so the metals and the stones, for the blacksmiths to then make the tools, the weapons, and the armor. Reese Roscoe is our photographer. That's whose camera I used to take the pictures for you. Anthony Hudson and Donovan Carter handle the museum we own, and also Anthony Hudson controls, or not controls, but sort of like works with theatre that we have. We have like a cinema, and he basically sets all of that up. He sets I don't know what you'd call it, the projector, I guess, kind of, to project the movies onto the screen. We do that. Sometimes we all get together and watch films sometimes. And Drew St. Clair is our head of religion. She basically owns the only church in the community and holds services every once in a while. And finally, Alison Holt Carter is our spokeswoman. At least she will be. Basically got it figured out that she'll speak with other communities, handle the trade agreements with it, between us all, and if a meeting is needed, basically she'll be the one who organises its setup, basically. Or she'll organise that it's set up, And I'm pretty sure that's the full council. I mean, if I forgot anyone, I apologise, but as you can tell, there is a lot of people to remember, a lot of names, and thankfully I remembered them all, I believe, but if I didn't, once again, apologise. If those are just the council members, how many people do you have altogether? I don't know exactly how many, but I think it's somewhere around 189, I think we counted, but we're always getting new people. Some just come on their own accord, others brought in big clumps by our recruiters, but we recently brought some new people, and including you guys, it'd be more than that, You're presuming we're gonna join your community? I mean, I am, I guess. I mean, I'm hoping. The thing is, you haven't seen it yet, so you don't know what to expect. True. So tell me about your community. What kind of people do you have? Families, children, men, women, that kind of thing. I get that, but what about occupations? Oh, okay, teachers, doctors, tattoo artists, military personnel. We have a rather wide variety of people, and I apologise for stuttering my words there. I see. And I heard you mention Robert Gavin, owner of Gavin's Ranch, I presume. You know him? I knew of him. Set up his ranch as a safe place for people at the start. Didn't work out and got overrun, but yes, I know of him. So you said he grows crops. He's in charge of feeding people, and what does he do in winter, when his fields aren't producing crops? He has a greenhouse. We have many greenhouses, in fact, for colder seasons, He has, in the winter, he has a small greenhouse, so it doesn't produce as many. It's mostly for him and his family to keep them going. And then where I live, I have a greenhouse too. And then in Greenport, which is Gracie's place, I guess, is what people call it anyway, so Gracie Hudson, there they have, I believe it was three big barns. Not barns, greenhouses, sorry. I believe it was 3. It's either 3 or 4. I can never quite remember, but that's basically what we do. So then we all sort of produce our own food for ourselves, you know? Makes sense. And how did you find greenhouses? We didn't. I mean, we made them. I told you that we have people head of construction. I mean, they can make greenhouses. I mean, they make buildings, you know, so of course they can make greenhouses. It's pretty straightforward, kind of. I see. And what about animals? We have pigs, chickens, cows, horses, donkeys, dogs, cats. We even have a cheetah, believe it or not, and a penguin. So, many animals. Understood. Allison told you our occupations. Do you have jobs for us all? I mean, technically, it's not necessary to have a job. And I know that sounds weird, but let me just explain that quickly. So basically, I have jobs that you may want to take, obviously, based off of your previous occupations, but as I said, having a job isn't a necessary thing. It is if you want money to buy things or pay someone to build something for you, but other than that, I mean, you get 33 credits each per person when you join us. And that's enough to buy a few crops and pay for a greenhouse to be built, and then you're pretty much set. I mean, you can eat the vegetables you grow and live down here if you wish. Actually, you already have crops I saw behind you, so you're pretty much set. I mean, you don't need a job, but if you want money to buy things, then you kind of do. Or, like, if you want to pay someone to go out and get you something from beyond the walls, they'll give you a price. They'll say, okay, you want that, so that'll be around this amount, depending on how much risk or how uncommon it is to find, and that's kind of how it goes. So it's in the form of credits, and what jobs? Yeah, I mean, really you can call them whatever. You know, coins, credits, money. It doesn't really matter what you call them, to be fair. They all do this, they just do the same thing anyway. It doesn't matter what you call them. I mean, they come in the form of what looks like a stone coin, I guess, is what it most looks like. It's just like a rounded thing. You'll see eventually, anyway. And as for jobs, Ford, of course, probably a guard of some kind, I'd say. I might even request you speak to Demar about security and stuff like that, because maybe you could help with that. And the same goes for Jenna Chandler. I mean, you know, you're both military personnel. As I said, we've got others that you could gladly probably speak to and connect with. So, Dewitt Ryan can take what I presume was his lighthouse back, because it's in good shape. It's not destroyed or anything. Amelia Brooks, the pilot. It'll just be good to have a pilot if we ever need one, to be honest. You know, I mean, we've got a helicopter, but it doesn't exactly work right now because it's been out in the snow and the rain and the storms and God knows what else. So, you know, as for Lindsay Porter and Josh Burke, I'm sure our scientist Zena Blair could use some help with our studies, to be fair. How does that sound? Not bad, but say we agree to join you. Would we still be allowed to live here without this place getting ransacked by your people? Yeah, of course. I mean, this is your home. We're not gonna do anything to this place. I mean, if you want us to stay out, we will absolutely do that. We will stay away and we won't come near you guys. If you want to invite people in, you can invite people in, you know. But I do actually have one question for you, and that is there a lab down here? There is. Then our one request might be that Zena Blair can come down here. I mean, we don't actually own an actual lab, so she's been sort of working in an old store that basically she's turned into a lab, but doesn't have the right equipment, so that'd definitely come in handy. Zena Blair is welcome here any time. We knew her before. She worked with Lindsay and Josh, and they respect her, and if they do, I do too. She was working with them to try and create a cure, which clearly didn't work out. Yeah, she did mention when I spoke to her that she knew Lindsay and Josh, but it's why I took a photo of her for the scientists. So you did take photos? You have a working camera? Well, yes. As I said, Reese is our photographer, and as I also mentioned, I just borrowed his. Fair enough. Let's see these photos. Yeah, here, you'll be able to figure out, sort of what photos for who, I see, so I see my camp is still there. It is, and, I also made sure I have the photos representing the things you asked for. So, community, faith, history, progress, and safety. Community is a woman and a child. Yes, the woman's name is Luna, and the little girl is Clara. She's basically my daughter, I guess. You, a child raising another child. Her mother died giving birth to her. Asked me to raise her with my girlfriend, who was her best friend. I see. And the father? Ran away. Left the mother before she gave birth because he couldn't handle having a child in the apocalypse, and he left. I see. It's a big responsibility. But courageous of you for taking it. She looks well. Must be doing a good job. I mean, I'm doing what I can, so is everyone else, We all do our part to keep everyone safe. That's good. And so you own a church. Nice. A museum is a nice touch too. As for the progress, now that's interesting. That used to be Greenport City, if I'm correct. And you most certainly are. The city is gone, and quite frankly, I'd say that's a lot of progress. As for safety, it looks to be good strong walls, and the guard seems well equipped. Not saying I trust you, but Allison does. So because of that, I'm happy to say we'll accept your tour. If we like what we see, we'll talk to your council about joining. Is there anything to do after we do that? Yes. If you choose to join us, you all basically have to fill in your applications, and that's pretty much just listing certain details about you. What kind of details? Just your full name. So, for example, yours would be Seth Ford, or if Seth isn't your actual first name, you say what it is, and then it would be your birthday, basically just things you like, things you don't, sort of like how many people you've killed, just that kind of thing, really. You'll see. Okay, I'm happy with that, but what's to stop us from lying? Nothing. I mean, I guess I just have to trust that you won't. We won't lie. So, let's get this started, shall we? Yeah, yes, absolutely, thank you, yes, let's, yes, okay, I'm a bit surprised, to be fair. I sort of came down here expecting to have to do a lot of reasoning and convincing, but yes, okay, yeah, follow me, I'll lead the way.